speech of the day. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Calm down. I think you all know that I'm Carl and I'm Pete's brother, and I too would all like to thank you all for coming on this special occasion. I'm sure you'll be all pleased to know that I'm only going to speak for a few minutes due to my throat. Because if I go on too long, Sharon's going to cut it. When Pete asked me to be best man, I was over the moon. But then I was brought back down to earth again with a bang when I realised I would have to write and say a best man speech. And we all know that doing a best man speech is like making love to the Queen. It's a massive honour, but no one really wants to do it. First of all, I would like to say, and I'm sure everyone will agree, that Sharon looks absolutely stunning today. Her dress looks absolutely amazing on her, and I'm so happy and proud I can finally call her my sister-in-law. I would also like to say how beautiful the bridesmaids are. Lindsay, Emily and Millie, you have done a fantastic job today for Sharon, and I think they all deserve a round of applause. I'd also like to thank the bride and groom's parents, because if it wasn't for them 30 years ago, we wouldn't be all here today, would we? That's the first and last time we ever speak about mum and dad like that. And Pete, I'm glad to see you've made a bit of an effort for a change. Now, I've never been best man before, but I'm told that it's tradition to embarrass the groom in my speech with stories from his past to show the bride's parents what kind of man their daughter has married. Could I do that to my beloved young brother, I asked myself. Well, you have to argue with tradition. And besides, Janet and Dave have well and truly seen Pete naked before, so I'm not very embarrassed with that anyway. So, well, I'll give it my best shot. Here we go. Pete, or Pee-wee as our mum used to call him, was born on the 11th of August 1983, and even though I was only 3 years old at the time, I remember meeting him for the first time and thinking, what an ugly baby. Mum must have thought the same at the time, because that's when her morning sickness started. But we would become close and become best of friends as we shared similar interests and the same sense of humour. So if this speech is any way unfunny, feel free to blame Pete. At school, Pete was a generally well-behaved and well-mannered boy by all accounts. He was always willing to learn. And he didn't leave the learning just in the classroom. He once went up to a school dinner lady in the playground and asked her what a condom was.
How big he knows.
Being a young teenage boy can be a very confusing and embarrassing time, and Pete was no exception to this, as he once told us he fancied the keyboard player at a teen pop band, Hanson. Well, he did, until we told him he was actually a 14-year-old boy called Taylor. Then he wondered why he was put in the gay posse at school. It was this period that Pete would sometimes get forgetful. But at the time he rung Dad up to recording something from the telly. Pete had forgotten the last thing he had watched was an X-rated video, which he had left in his VCR, which Dad had then found. This resulted in an embarrassing chat between them. But I don't know who was embarrassed. Pete for being found out, or Dad because it was Dad's X-rated video. Another embarrassing story I remember about Pete was from one of the times, and sorry, Ben and Naomi, you're involved in this. Now, a young Ben and Naomi would often wake us up early and come running into our rooms, jumping on our beds, pulling the quilts off us until we woke up. One morning they did this. They ran into Pete's room, but Pete was quite reluctant to give up his quilt. Nevertheless, Ben and Naomi managed to get it off him. It was then became quite apparent why Pete was so reluctant to give his quilt up as Ben and Naomi walked the rest of the house up, laughing and shouting, "Pete's been thinking of rude ladies." Now I'll leave it up to your imagination what they sing, but Pete's never been a fan of the song "What's the Story, Morning Glory." Now some of you might be surprised to hear that Sharon wasn't Pete's first love. No, this would be the Spice Girls. First came the albums, then the posters all over his bedroom wall. A couple of videos were acquired, and then the chance to either watch James Bond's Tomorrow Never Dies with me and my dad, or go watch Spice Girls the movie with my mum. He chose the Spice Girls. But it was that fateful night 13 years ago that Pete would meet the lovely Sharon at the Mega Ball at the Capitol Centre. Pete was certainly bowled over by Sharon, and any ideas of becoming the sixth Spice Girl vanished instantly. As Pete asked Sharon, "Do you want to be my lover?" And Sharon said yes, and that is when two became one, and they have never looked back since. The stories didn't end there though, because this was also a time when Pete met alcohol. And when Pete and alcohol mix, anything can happen. Head jumping, taking a poo in a car park, wandering into the wrong bedroom, just to name a few incidents. But Pete is the only person I know that can manage to lose 200 people. Yeah. Wearing all the same t-shirts on a boat call, not once, but twice. But one of those times was on our first lads' holiday in Mallorca, where he thought it would be a good idea to ring Mum and Dad up, back in England, at 1 o'clock in the morning, to inform them that he was lost. That went down well. Especially when he wasn't really lost and he was outside our hotel. Yeah. Now, I've got plenty of more stories, but my mouth's getting a bit dry. So if anyone wants to hear any more, mine's a lager. So it's been nearly 9 years since Pete proposed to Sharon in Paris. Such a long time ago, but as the old saying goes, all good things come to those who wait. Pete once told me that marrying Sharon would be the final piece in the jigsaw. Well, Pete was never good at doing jigsaw puzzles. So I'd like to congratulate him on finally getting one right. Yeah. Pete, not only has it been an honour to be your best man today, it has been a privilege being your brother for nearly 30 years. I also speak for my mum and dad when I say how proud we are of the man you have become, and I really couldn't have wished for a better brother, and I'm sure you're going to be a wonderful husband to Sharon. When I was younger, I always wondered what it would feel like to have a sister. Well, Sharon, I feel that in you, I have now got one. And I'm also sure that you'll be a fantastic wife to Pete. Together, you are a fantastic couple. It's obvious to me and to all our family and friends here that you are soulmates and how much love you have for each other. You are brilliant parents to Millie, and you only have to look at her to see how perfect she is to know that you two were meant to be together. We all hope that you have a long and happy marriage and hope you have a fantastic honeymoon in Wales. Well, I think it's Wales, as Pete's told me he's going to bang her for a week. So on that note, I would like to invite everyone to be upstanding and raise their glasses in a toast to the new Mr. and Mrs. Merch. Ladies, whoa, ladies and gentlemen, Pete and Sharon. Yeah, brilliant. Well impressed.